عليكم السلام ورحمة الله. كيف حالك؟ حياك الله، الله يعطيك العافية. تسلم يا شيخ. طيب، بسم الله الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. أما بعد. Just coming to the chapter of Khiyar, take one or two hadith and we can look at some revisions, some questions I have for you inshallah today. Bidnillah al-Azim. But the chapter of riba. The chapter of riba will be done next time inshallah. So we're going to do some revision. We're going to read the ahadith and we're just going to read the English. I'll read the Arabic. Is that okay? If you're happy with that. And we're just going to quickly go through it and just talk about some of the masail that we've learned. So take this as a revision session inshallah. The first thing is the conditions of buying and selling. The first hadith number 1 is حديث عن رفاعة بن رافع رضي الله عنه أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم سئل أي الكسب أطيب قال عمل الرجل بيده وكل بيع مبرور. نعم. الله يبارك فيك أخي صخلة. And what we said over here is that the correct view inshallah is this, of course, there's no doubt, as this hadith is a thabit, has been proven and it's authentic. But the scholars, they explain by whatever amal that a person does, whatever is easy for that individual. And I believe I took a qawl from Imam al-Shaykh al-Sa'di rahimahullah ta'ala, فقال فمنهم من فضل الزراعة ومنهم من فضل التجارة. Some scholars, they preferred the tijara to be the best amal. Some said it's being what a farmer does. Some said such and such. وأحسن ما يقال في هذا الباب, and the best that you can say in this chapter is anything ما يناسب حاله, that which is linked with the person's situation. So if you're a teacher, for an example, and this is what you're good at doing and you like it, so this is your amal, this is your deeds. But there's no doubt this hadith is sahih, thabit, it is an authentic hadith. So bear this in mind inshallah. So the khilaf of the ulama is what is better. Is it this, is it that, what type of work? Okay, next hadith. عن جابر بن عبد الله رضي الله عنهما أنه سمع رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول عام الفتح وهو بمكة إن الله ورسوله حرم بيع الخمر والميتة والخنزير والأصنام فقيل يا رسول الله أرأيت شحوم الميتة فإنها تطأ بها السفن وتدهن بها الجلود ويستصبح بها الناس فقال الله حرام. ثم قال الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم عند ذلك قاتل الله اليهود إن الله تعالى لما حرم عليهم شحومها جملوه ثم باعوه فأكلوا ثمنها. Hasbuk, sorry, afwan. So this hadith basically implies on this very important aspect, the prohibition of selling alcohol, something that's dead, It's not being sacrificed in the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wal khinzir, the pig, wal asnam, and the idol. So the whole chapter is about the conditions of buying and selling. It's not permissible to make a sale of something that's impermissible in itself, something that's haram, so you can't really do. That's the shahid of the lesson over there, inshallah ta'ala. Next hadith. وعن ابن مسعود رضي الله عنه قال سمعت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول إذا اختلف المبايعان وليس بينهم بينة فالقول ما يقول رب السلعة أو يتتاركان والخمسة. نعم. Yes, of course, because the asl goes back to him. He's the one. Now there's a differentiation, but it depends what he said. It goes back to the seller's word, what he said. You're differing between, you bought something and then you're differing, you sold it to me for this price or that or so. What the seller said, ma qarrarahu lafdhan, what he said in terms of his wordings, that would be the hukum. But yani, over here, as we said last time when we spoke about this mas'ala, this hadith is sahih, yani, but a lot of this goes back to the qadi, the judge, or the intermediary that comes in between the quarrels of the people, and they rectify, make sulh between the people. So then this mas'ala is a lot in there, in that regard. So bear that in mind, inshallah. عن أبي مسعود الأنصاري رضي الله عنه أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم نهى عن ثمن الكلب ومهر البغي وحلوان الكاهن. نعم. حلوان الكاهن. نعم. Sorry. نعم. طيب. Next hadith over here. Was the rifq of the Prophet ﷺ and the permissibility of. The father read that in English, Akhi, please. And just next hadith, read in English. No. One second, please. Interesting, this one is. Anyway, this hadith of Jabir, one second, Ahmad, I'll come back to you, inshallah. This hadith obviously implies on the permissibility of making a condition whilst you're having the sale taking place. So the Prophet ﷺ said to him what? He said to him that, with the condition that I, yeah, that I can ride it back home. So this is the condition, and this was made. He did it, but then the Prophet ﷺ gave it back to him because they didn't want him to kind of like, make it difficult upon him. But perhaps just to teach him the permissibility of this condition. Important mas'ala. فمن حسن الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم is that this is amazing, subhanallah. There is ikhtilaf on this mas'ala, khilaf on this mas'ala. Can you make a condition on this? Was this really a condition? Or was this just the Prophet testing him? Like in Zahir, there was a condition, wallahu alam, but the thing is, there is some khilaf between the ulama in this regard. Anyway, the next hadith we spoke about, عاتق رجل منا عبدا له عن دبر لم يكن له مال غيره فدعا به النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم فبايعه. نعم. Mas'ala, yeah? What lesson do you derive from this one? Huh? No. This is another mas'ala. The other next hadith عن ميمونة رضي الله عنها. تفضل. الله وسلم. Not to waste it for something that's solid or something, because obviously that it's okay, you can take that away, but obviously if it goes into something like water or mixture, then obviously there's germs and bacteria, things that are passed, and then obviously that becomes impure. It's similar to the same next hadith. Now, Ahmed, you had a question? Ask. I know. Yeah, the fortune teller, the one who's trying to say he knows the future. I don't know if they're seen, but I've never met one anyway, and I hope not to meet one, inshallah. طيب سألت جابر عن ثمن السنور والكلب فقال سبحان الله فقال زجر النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم عن ذلك رواه مسلم والنسائي وزاد إلا كلب صيد. نعم. Now, the hunting dog is allowed. And we spoke about the prohibition of the reason why it's not permissible to obviously buy the dog, because of the hadith, which is every day qiratan is deducted from your deeds. Qiratan is like 2 great mountains of Uhud. Uhud. This is how much reward and ajr is deducted for keeping a dog. But subhanallah al-azim, now we hear of this culture now. A lot of Muslims going for it and come under the claim that it's like hunting, or they're trying to do analogies and stuff like this, and none of this is permissible. Unless you have a farm, you have dogs to guard the livestock, the animals, or for security reasons where you actually need it for that, not as a voluntary, we may need it. You may hire a dog, okay, and an owner or something for your home whilst you go on holiday. This is okay. When you come, khalas. Yeah, they're different. They're both permissible. Guard dog, the hunting dog. Now, this is talking about the price. Buying a cat is not permissible. To buy or sell cats is not allowed. Yeah. So some of the scholars had ikhtilaf on this. 1 second. If you want to. فذهب الجمهور ومنهم الإمامان الشافعي وأحمد إلى تحريم بيعه وإن كان كلب صيد أو زرع أو ماشية ويباح اقتناؤه لهذه الحاجة مع تحريم بيعه وثمنه. لأن الأصل من نهي عن التحريم قال خضيج. Anyway, obviously if there's necessities, it is permissible. There's necessities is a different mas'ala, where there's no way out of it except through that necessity. One second. ولأنها طاهرة في الحياة وهذا مذهب طائفة من العلماء ومنهم الحنابلة إذا صح البيع إنما تكون في عين مالية والسنون ليس بمال. وذهب إلى جواز بيع. Yeah, so the jamhur of the ulama, the majority, I knew, yeah, this is what I knew. The majority of the scholars, they say it's permissible to buy this, to buy cats. And they took this hadith, but there's one masala usul al-fiqh now. Sometimes the hadith can be prohibition, but is this prohibition haram or is it tanzih, means like etiquettes ومكارم الأخلاق, see, وأن هذا مما اعتاد الناس هبته, because people usually they give it as gifts, and even till today, my cat was given to us as a gift for my, remember, I think so anyway, I hope so. It wasn't me, it was my family, the children, they said they wanted to have a cat and this and that. I said, okay, so long it's a gift. I'm not paying anything for this. SubhanAllah, it was given as a gift, so this is okay. And this is min adatin nas, from the habit of the people. They give cats. You know what, I have 6 kittens, take one of them. But the Jamhur, they said this prohibition here is at-tanzih wa makarim al-akhlaq, just, you know, out of adab and ihtiram, so you should not buy cats and stuff like this. But they said it's permissible if there's a need, especially if there's a want, or so on and so forth. But the khilaf over here is quite clear, because you have the dog here mentioned, and there's no way, I mean, I don't know, maybe people do give dogs away. You could probably ask at your over there when the people come, subhanAllah. ففيه زجر وهو أبلغ من النهي وتكون علة في تحريم بيع لعدم النفع المقصود فيه. نعم. Anyway, the mas'ala is khilaf, but I say to stay away from the khilaf always is better, and that is, even if some of them they say tanzi akram al-khalaq, but akhlaq for the sin, no, you can't say that for the dog though, can you? You can't say that for the dog, can you? Huh? Yeah, but it doesn't say that. It says, Naha. So I asked Jabir about the price of the cat and the dog. He said, Zajara. He forbid, the person forbid, and ordered to stay away from selling or even benefiting regarding this money from this, you know, bishidda. With shidda, like, it's like with seriousness. Zajar, the word zajar, another good word you may learn. Zajara is very, you know, it's quite heavy in that one. So this is a masala that's important, inshallah ta'ala. Then famous next hadith, if you remember, we can read the English directly, inshallah. Jazakallah khair. Allah Sallam. يعني هنا الولاء لمن اعتق. The rights of inheritance is for the one who has freed the slave. You with me? This is the right of inheritance. It's for the one who's freed the slave. So she did. So Aisha radiallahu anha did this. Then the Prophet ﷺ stood up and he spoke to the people. He praised Allah wa athna alayh, and he said, "Amma ba'd, fama bal rijal some people are making stipulating conditions which is not in the book of Allah. So like nowadays, today, when people start making these weird conditions, so it's a condition, it's a policy, it's our rules, it's the law and all of this here. But that which goes against the Sharia of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not allowed. Because the rule is al-wala liman a'taq. The inheritance for the one who's freed, not for, just like now in inheritance, when someone passes away, rahimahullah, what happens then? Sheikh Ahmed, what happens? People start fighting, start making their own conditions, say, but according to the land, 50-50, and this and that and the other, and they start to make issues, and then there's daughters, there's sons, there's other people involved in who are the inheritors, heirs. Okay, they need to be given this according to, and the Quran is very clear in the maths regarding that. يُوصِيكُمْ فِي أَوْلَادِكُمْ لِلذَّكَرِ مِثْلُ حَظِّ الْأُنثَيَيْنِ فَإِنْ كُنَّ نِسَاءً فَوْقَ اثْنَتَيْنِ فَلَهُنَّ ثُلُثُ مَا تَرَكَ in Surah Al-An'am, Surah Ali Imran. So this is very clear. So this is talking about sticking to the conditions, that which is in the book of Allah, not stipulating conditions which are not in the book of Allah. Very important now, inshallah. Next hadith. Taban, the next hadith again is very, very clear, simple. The following hadith is similar mas'ala. It's just like if you read it, it's very simple. Then we came to the aspect of that the Prophet ﷺ forbid حبل الحبل وكان بيعا يبتاع أهل الجاهلية رجل يبتاع الجزور إلى أن تنتج الناقة ثم تنتج التي في بطنها. نعم, that one. Yeah, we spoke about this as well recently. There's similar hadith that we done recently. This is quite clear. So because there's jahala, there's ambiguity, we spoke about this mas'ala. Next hadith. Yeah, this is clear. Next hadith. بيع الحصاد وعن بيع الغرر. Again, not to make any transactions which are deceiving the people. So deceiving, so that comes under the rule, the qa'idah, the whole rule on that section. Then the next one, the one who buys food, he shouldn't sell it until he's weighed it, because you're weighing it. 3 apples, I think this looks like £1.60, doesn't matter. Yeah, I know, weigh it, because in case it's 20p or 50p, whatever it is, what I'm trying to say. So this is important. Then the forbidden action of 2 transactions in 1 transaction. Akhi Ahmed, give me an example of this. 2 transactions in 1 transaction. It's very easy, come on. Go on. Yeah, so this is wrong. This is the meaning of 2 transactions in 1. Yeah. Yeah, this is also shigar, they call it. This is not allowed. This is a problem. حديث عمرو بن شعيب لا يحل سلف وبيع ولا شرطان في بيع ولا ربح ولا يضمن ولا يبيع ولا بيع ما ليس عندك. Not to purchase something that's not yours. So you don't have this. It's not yours, you don't have it, and selling it, then it's not permissible. But we spoke about this masala, Sheikh, regarding al-wakala is permissible, where someone says, okay, I'll give you the money, once you get it, just take it off the money. He goes, okay, so he's appointed you to buy that item. So you've become the agent, because like you say, no, I don't have it now, but I'll get it for you. He goes, okay, take the money now. Okay, I'll take the money now because I need to purchase it. So you are a wakil here. This is tawkil. This is permissible. This is what we spoke about. Bay' al-urban, we spoke about this. The Prophet ﷺ forbid the bay' al-urban. What is al-urban? Yeah, down payment. So what do you mean? What's the translation? How is it translated as? Okay. So over here it says هو أن يشتري الرجل السلعة ثم يعطي البائع دينارا درهما من الثمن فإن أمضى المشتري العقد وأخذ السلعة فما دفع فهو من الثمن وإلا فهو للبائع. A down payment, simple words, call it al-urban or al-urubun or al-arabun or erbun, they call it with the alif as well. And this is just basically means that, I'm selling you this item. You want to buy it? Yeah. So you give me, you have any money in your pocket now? Yeah. I don't take this up. Only cash only. Okay. So you give me, it's probably worth now £20. So let's say 20, £30. Okay. But you say, no, I don't have the money now. I say, okay, put a deposit down. Deposit, how much you're going to put? £10. Say £10. You take it and you don't really purchase it. You come back and say, no, actually, I don't want this anymore. I say, khalas, well, this deposit is for me, it belongs to me. This is called al-urban, very important, this mas'ala. And this is permissible. Especially now, I mean, it's better always to say to the people, if you're selling your I was going to say drugs there, but selling medications or something, you say to the people that, look, there's no refunds on deposits, no, I need just to keep it from niqash and so on and so forth, fighting and arguing and stuff like that. So this is important to know. But this is the rahmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has placed upon the people of tujjar. Do business is good. Are we going to be studying in university all our lives and not benefit properly? Yeah, make that money back, Shaykh. Yeah? MashaAllah. طيب, next hadith, تفضل.
He said, do not sell it in the place where you bought it from till you take it to your dwelling. For Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam forbade the commodities to be sold on the spot where they were bought from till the traders take them to their dwelling. Why straight away sell it?
Let's just see what the scholars say, innit? لا هنا Surah al-Mas'ala here is not to make a purchase on something before you've accepted, before you've put it into your possession and then you've sold it. I sell you this item and you go, okay, cool. I'm still in the majlis and I'll sell it to you. Okay, actually, you say, okay, I'll sell it to him. And let one contract be complete. You've taken it, qabth. You've taken it, you've walked away. Khiyar, you come up the khiyar and then you've come and you sold it separately. Because obviously, you cannot make that transaction because it's not yours yet. This is the meaning of the hadith. You with me, Sheikh? qabd is done. The qabd means that it's done. You've got the money, he's got the item. No refunds done. Then once the person who's received it, then he can sell it to whoever he wants because he owns it. It's about having the ownership of the item. This is very important. تفضل. Yeah. Give me the example of what drop shipping is. But it's not in your possession. This is not permissible. لا تبيع ما ليس عندك. This is the hadith, exactly the hadith that we deal. This is drop shipping hadith. Give me, we got a pen, akhi. Sorry, if you got a spare one, sorry. Need it a little bit. Look at this hadith. ابتعت زيتا في السوق فلما استوجبته لقيني رجل فأعطاني به ربحا حسنا فأردت أن أضرب على يد الرجل فأخذ رجل من خلفي بذراعي فأعطاني به ربحا حسنا فأردت أن أضرب على يد الرجل فأخذ رجل من خلفي هنا أيضا the majority of the scholars even say this hukum is very generic in every single transaction. Every single transaction. It's not permissible to do this tasarruf until it's there in your hand. Now, this is clear. So drop shipping, the problem with drop shipping is very simple. Don't complicate things. And analogies drawn and this, that. It's not in your position. Because let's be honest, if the person doesn't want it, you're going to say, khalas. You're going to cancel that. You're not going to be the middleman to go and sell that because now because you don't own it anyway. If you own it, it's still there. I have to get rid of it. I have to find another buyer. I have to find someone. Are you with me? Like something that's physical in your hands. No, this is tawkeel. This is a different mas'ala. This is wakala. We spoke about this now earlier. That, if I say to you, could you please buy me this pen? And you go to me, I'll get it for you. I know you're the agent and you're going to get it for me. But if you say, I have it, and I say, okay, this is the money, and then you don't have it, you've done the sale, you've taken the money, this is wrong. Unless I say to you, okay, hold the money, whenever you get it, take the money from it, and then send it to me. This is okay, because I've now appointed you to make the purchase. We call it tawkeel. That's okay. Yeah, what do you mean? Yeah, tawkil. Look, this goes back to the customs of what people are trying to really say. Like your example, Sheikh, remember your example, you don't have this item in your store. Someone says, oh, I need this. You say to him that, I can get it for you. Yeah. So you take the money, there and then, you take the money. You've done this money, but in your heart, I haven't taken, this money is not mine yet until, obviously, because I can refund if it doesn't come, or the delivery guy doesn't bring it or something or whatever. Yeah, of course. Tawkil. But it must be clear from both sides. It can't be like, yeah, I have it, that's, you with me? Yeah, al-wakala is shay akhar. This is al-wakala. As for something, you're selling you something that you don't have, this is not. Or you have the item in front of you, but it's not yours. Stealing, in other words. That's like stealing, okay? Similar to that now. وعن رضي الله عنه قال قلت يا رسول الله إني أبيع الإبل بالبقية فأبيع بالدنانير وآخذ الدراهم وأبيع بالدراهم آخذ هذا من هذا وأعطي هذا من هذا فقال الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم لا بأس أن تأخذها بسعر يومها ما لم تفترقا وبينكما شيء. نعم. الله عليه وسلم. Basically, I'm giving you dirham, danani, there and then the transaction takes place. That's it. Pounds and dollars, pounds and rupees, or whatever it be. Yes, your question? Huh? It's just a currency. It's a dhahab and fidda. It's like gold and silver. Of course. Give me an example. What do you mean by that? If it's, look, the Prophet said, بِسِعْرِ يَوْمِهَا, of that day, that day's rate. Yes, this is allowed. It can't be third day's rate. This is riba. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam gave a condition, لا بأس, no problem. أن تأخذها بسعر يومها ما لم تفترقا, so long you don't separate. Transaction must be done like all transactions are done there in that sitting. You with me now? What don't you understand? Tell me, ask me. Yes. So then they give you there and then 2.5. They give you 5 riyals for, sorry, not 5 riyals. Yeah, 5 riyals for £1. But tomorrow it's 5.1. I can't give you tomorrow's rate. I want to give you today's one. And right now here, you give me your pounds, just like gold for gold. It's the same transaction, but it's just turned into paper money. Simple. You with me? If it's the same rate, akhi, same day, yeah, no problem. Al-qabd is very important to take it the same day, yeah. This is a mas'ala scholars speak about. Anyway, the next one is a najish. We're almost coming to our end where we are. A najish, we spoke about a najish, which is to increase the price for not wanting to buy it. This is prohibited. Just read them as you're going along whenever you can, not to con people. The who don't know the market price. This is another ahadith. I'm skipping the ahadith. I'm going to the next bab now. And don't transaction over your brother's transaction. This one, this hadith. نهى رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم أن يبيع حاضر لباد ولا تناجش ولا يبيع الرجل على بيع أخيه. هنا البيع على بيع أخيه. Give me the example, Ahmed. Give me the example. This one done. This one we done. You always go back to the previous hadith, you say, what is this, subhanAllah? We're doing now a transaction over your brother's transaction. Give me the example, the surah. Interrupting with the... Just bear one thing in mind, it could also be condition. So if the seller says, you got 3 days to let me know. You have 3 days. Within that time, no one else can come in and interrupt that. It's not permissible in Islam. Okay? Likewise, Allahu A'lam, even to say, no, just refund it, I'll get it for you. Nowadays, we have these policies as well. So this is, once a transaction, and I know a big problem we said, what did we say last time? One big issue we have is, when a sale is complete, let's say you bought something, you've done, تم العقد. I say, Ahi, this is so wrong, man. You should have done this. You should have done this. You should have, you know. Subhanallah. I saw a cheaper one now. No, but like I'm just trying to make a point that this is not good. You know, just khalas, mashallah, may Allah put barakah in it. But if you before the transaction you say, look, Ahi, you know. What do you think? Now let me tell you, no, not this person. You can do all of this. This is okay because you're now advising the brother. Likewise, the وَلَا يَخْطُبُ عَلَى خِطْبَةِ أَخِيهِ. Nor should a person go into the engagement of his brother. If he's engaged to a woman he wants to marry, that he goes and proposes to her. Not permissible. And this is all al-Islam. Yani, subhanallah, ikhwani, yeah? You understand? Well, what does this mean? It's adab, it's etiquette, it's manners, it's real adab that you need to have. Wallahi, I've seen, subhanallah, in these areas, mashallah, alhamdulillah, there's a lot of Muslims, which is good, mashallah, but sometimes people lose the etiquettes of Islam, pure Islam. It becomes culture. It becomes pure culture, but dressed as Muslims. Not judging the people that they are not good or something, but you know, it's very sad and it's really bad. Be a proper Muslim. When you go in to knock on someone's door, you don't look up in the windows, you don't look, or maybe he's there, maybe he's sleeping, or aib, yani. Look into someone's eye. It says your eye is going to someone's home, and it goes into the women folk in the home. It's permissible for the hadith mentions that it's permissible for the person to take the person's eyes out. هكذا الحديث صحيح البخاري. I'm just telling you what the hadith mentions, like subhanAllah, it's so serious that the matter is very, very serious. It's adab, akhlaq, wal ghayra, wal adab. Lakin, teach your families when you go home, teach them about adab and suluk, and wallahi, yani, it's very sad the way people don't want to study the deen. You have sisters who don't want to learn the deen of Allah. They don't want to learn deen. They don't want to learn, they want to wear the hijab, mashallah, which is beautiful, which you have to. And that's what we promote. But beyond that, it's not about that. It's about culture. It's about showing off. It's about pride. Likewise, men. So many. Wearing the garments, you look like a Muslim. You've got to show a good example then to the non-Muslims. You speak to people and then you speak to them as though you want to war with them. You want to rage with them. I've seen it. See some brothers, the way they talk. And I say to the people, it's lack of education. This is what it is. It's lack of etiquettes in yourself and the way we should deal with non-Muslims. We should be a good example, you know. Subhanallah. Likewise, if a woman is married, the woman shouldn't ask for her sister to go and divorce the husband, or the husband divorce her. Khalas, that's your first. Now I will be your first. Things like this and all this. Again, these are etiquettes and manners that a Muslimah should acquire. And a lot of facade of families, children are separated because of these small masail that are very, very serious matters, inshallah. The next hadith, I think, khalas, this is sufficient for today, because I think all the other ahadith are very recent. We've done them. We've done all the other ahadith that are very, very recent, okay? The hadith al-Musarrat is over here, and then, this one is the mas'ala, okay? Inshallah, any questions if you have, inshallah? No. It can be refundable. It can be refundable. It can be non-refundable. He can give it out of his goodness and say, "Khalas, tafaddal," no problem. But al-arabun, the haqq is lil ba'i', is for the seller, because the naqs isn't this person. The hadith musarrat is well similar to that. Hadith al-musarrat, you bring a tamar back. This was Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam done this to stop the quarreling, and this was the hikmah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Ahnaf, they say about qiyas, and as we spoke about, none of this is authentically proven because of the hadith which is sahih and thabit. That's in a nutshell the mas'ala. Yeah. Allahu alam, jazakumullahu khaira, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I don't know if it's explained properly, but I think it mentions muhaqala is to sell the seed which is being ripened from its ear of corn with another seed from the same time. So basically it's talking about the different type of seeds when they are selling them. Like cheating, you're cheating on the people do this, This is what it's talking about. But I don't know the exact definition, the way it's supposed to be. But this is why I said, the meaning, shahid over here is that if you want to be specific on the farm, then I can look into this one. I'll find some shurukhat that explains it much more in detail. This sharh is just very not my favorite now. I'm not happy with this sharh too much. It kind of breaks the words down. It has a lot of Shaykh al-Bani's kind of, and it has some ikhtilaf of the ulama. This is why I used this one for the exams. And from that time, we kind of carried on, and so then we just carried on kind of using that. But I like Rasul Salam is good. I like that one. There was one specific sharh of Bulugh al-Maram, I just didn't manage to get it. If anyone wants to try and get it for me, alhamdulillah, I'm happy to pay, I don't mind. It's called Minhatul A'lam. Minhatul A'lam by a Sheikh Rayfi, I believe. He wrote, it's about 15 volumes, Sharh of Bulugh al-Maram. In that, he goes into every single lesson. He takes Tarbiyah lesson, he takes the Arabic grammar, he does the Takhrij Hadith, then does the meaning, the khilaf of the ulama, he does every hadith, he does it like 5-6 sections. He does that. I saw that in Medina, my friend had it in Medina. And I used to read some of it, and I used to just, without him knowing maybe, and I used to read it. It was very nice, it was a very good book. And I wanted to get it, and I found one, I believe, but it was too expensive, or I just didn't have the baggage space, so that one is my. That's what I really want, maybe, inshallah, that will benefit us, isn't it? Inshallah, learn some meaning of hadith. Rather than reading hadith all your life, then you understand the basics and then move on. But go into a little bit more detail. You're learning to benefit, something new. Not to just read. Reading mujarrad Yeah. I don't understand the question.
I'm saying, Sheikh.
It's for that specific.
But if he gives the money tomorrow, specific rate, same rate, but you give the masjid.
Oh yeah, this one I don't know. You see the thing is there's usually a delay that people do, but so long the tasleems, I think it should be.
So long the what? Taslim.